There's lots of questions on exercise timing. Now, even if you don't have questions about it, it's a topic that's very important, because if you don't get the timing of your exercise right, all that hard work that you're putting in to lose weight or put on muscle or gain strength, whatever, all of that can be less optimal. It can backfire. So timing of the exercise is very important, and I'm hoping to answer those questions in this video. So and there's no one size fits all prescription for exercise timing. For each person it's different, and it depends on what they want out of their exercise and where they are, their current health status. So there's a lot of nuance, there's a lot of context in this topic, and if something I say doesn't make sense to you, I would like you to ask questions in the comments so that I can clear up the confusion, because it might look like I'm saying something categorically, but it's usually there's a lot of context to it. So I might not be able to cover all of it in a impromptu video like this. So if I make mistakes, or if something doesn't make sense, ask me in the comments. So I'll talk in general about people who are trying to lose weight, because that's the biggest category. And so if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to lose fat, the best time to exercise is usually in the morning. And there are two main reasons for it. One is because you're already burning fat, because you've slept and you've not eaten anything overnight. You're going to be burning fat as soon as you wake up in the morning. So when you go straight into exercise, the theory is that you will burn more fat. You'll be able to burn more of those calories better. So that is one reason, and the other reason is exercising in the morning doesn't disrupt your sleep. So if you exercise late at night, your sleep usually gets disrupted. So exercising in the morning in general is better for people who are trying to lose fat, trying to lose weight. If you're exercising in the morning, one of the disadvantages are that you are not warmed up fully, so you are at slightly higher risk of injuries. And exercising in the morning, most people don't feel very strong in the morning. So if you're doing strength training, you might find it difficult to do it in the morning. I'm used to strength training in the morning, so I don't have a problem, but I've been doing it for years. So if somebody's been strength training for a long time in the afternoon or in the evening, uh, if you want to shift to the morning, it'll be a good idea, but you'll have to reduce the load and the volume in your exercise. um, peak strength is usually your best performance in the weight room or in strength training is usually around 3 to 4 in the afternoon, according to various studies. But it might vary from person to person, but in general peak strength is around 3 to 4 in the afternoon. So if you're exercising for strength and performance, and if performance is your goal, then you should be aiming for a workout time around that time zone, 3 to 4 in the afternoon. 3 to 4 in the afternoon is also a good time for strength training, because it's not too late. If so You might be able to sleep in spite of the intense training session at 3 to 4 in the afternoon, because you've got a larger gap between your exercise and your sleep time. There are people who don't have the time, who don't have the schedule to be able to work out at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, in which case they will go ahead and do their gym work at 6 in the evening or 7 in the evening or even later. But usually that leads to higher levels of adrenaline and cortisol in your blood, and even histamine. So all of these neurotransmitters will then prevent you from falling asleep. You might be able to fall asleep, but the quality of your sleep will not be very great. And if the quality of your sleep is not very good, then you're not going to make strength gains or muscle gains if you're not sleeping well. So reconsider working out in the gym in the evening. Try and go in the morning itself. If at all you've got no time to work out in the morning, then you'll have to try for a 3 to 5 p.m. Window in the evening. With regards to cardio, again, cardio, if the idea is to burn fat usually. So if you're doing cardio and if it's low intensity cardio, it's best done in the morning when you're already fasted overnight. And if you start doing low intensity cardio, the idea is that you'll burn more fat. If you're doing intense cardio, if you're doing hill sprints or interval training, again, I would still prefer a morning session. Again, the problem is risk of injuries because you're not warmed up fully, and your performance might not be the best because peak athletic performance is usually immediate post afternoon time. Um, if you must do if you're using exercise to relax, or if you're using exercise to help you sleep, the best way to do that would be to go for a long slow walk 1 or 2 hours before you go to bed. So this is one area where exercising late in the evening is a good idea. So if you are going to bed at around 9 p.m., then you should be probably going for a walk between 6 and 7. And if you have an hour long walk, you might sleep better. So that is one option. Um, so eating and exercise timing and eating. So my preference is for fasted training. So you train on an empty stomach, whether it's cardio or strength, whatever. uh, and in most cases it is fine because we are not looking for massive performance gains. But for an athlete, somebody who's really looking to break records and somebody who's training really hard, they're very driven, fasted training might not be the best because they're not going to be fully fueled, and they're not going to so the higher intensity work needs a lot more glucose and glycogen, and performance will suffer if you're fasted, unless you're training for a endurance event like an ultra marathon or a marathon, in which case you're going to be better off training fasted, because most of your fueling during the run is fat. Now, if you're eating, I would like you to eat immediately after your workout. And when you're eating immediately after workout, if you're predominantly an endurance athlete, you will need more carbs. And if you're predominantly a strength athlete, you'll need predominantly more protein. It is There's ways in which to combine carbs and proteins to improve digestion, and I'll talk about that in another video. Now, for most people, fasted training is good, but in some people, fasted training can be a problem. Like I said, people who are doing intense athletic activity will need a little more fueling before their workout. The other category that benefits from fasted training, no, from that doesn't benefit from fasted training, people who are under a lot of stress, people who are finding it, um, who are not sleeping enough, people who are pushing too hard in work and in exercise and in life. Those people might not do very well with fasted training, because fasting is also a stressor, and you keep adding more and more stress to an already stressed lifestyle. um, it can backfire. So if you find that fasted training is not helping you, and on the other hand it's increasing the amount of fat you're putting on, then it's probably a not a good idea for you. So that was about exercise timing. If you got questions, please put them in the comments. I'll post a follow-up video on how to combine carbs and protein, the different ways to combine carb and protein when you're fueling for exercise. So thank you, and if you like the video, please share it and subscribe. Thanks.